Okay, day 3, LuvTru project. The side effect of 11. I'm trying something different today. I got earbuds in. I'm hoping that this picks up my voice better. I think it will because I've seen it on the internet, people talking with them. So I don't know if it's to just hear or to actually make the voice sound better. Because I realize a new thing I'm doing because of this is to add to the 11-minute side effect is I watch this video back later on in the day for 11 minutes. But I realized in the car, I can't get it loud enough that I can hear it very well. So I'm thinking you probably have to turn the volume up. So I'm trying to help with that thing to make it more efficient and easier so it's not an annoyance. So physical part I did, 11 push-ups, 11 sets. Did my 11-minute meditation, and I'm doing my 11-minute video with gratitude. I'll do my gratitude now. So I want to thank you for showing up. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to watch your growth. It's brilliant. When we started this whole thing, I thought it was mostly for you and I was going to get a little bit out of it. Now as we grow into it, as I'm being with you, on a regular basis every week, I realize how much there is in it for me, how much I'm experiencing, reliving stuff that now I'm seeing you go through, and I get to share that with you. And then it rehashes where I've been, what I've been doing, and it's been this amazing gift to relive that stuff so efficiently. And without having to go through all that it took, because I'm doing that with you. I'm watching your struggle and you go through this hardship. That's such a beautiful thing because I know it's on the other side. But I get to experience that and it triggers something in me about my past relationships. And then suddenly I get all the joy and the wonder of that experience with very little of the pain, right? Very little of the fear that when I went through it personally, I got a lot of that fear and pain I had to go through to get to it. And it's just amazing on both sides to live that and then to watch you grow. It's crazy the last couple times you've left and I've watched you walk away like you even walk different. Like you stand tall and your strides, I'm like, God, this is crazy to see the side effects. So thank you for being courageous and showing up and sharing it all with me, because it was the hardest thing I ever did, but the most rewarding, so worth it. Now to experience you being willing to go through it is beyond. So thank you. I love you. Okay, the things I'm seeing, the things I'm experiencing in this process of making it efficient. One, the physical part. I see how easily I have created a life of flow, right? The way I work, my relationships, that I've created like so much allowance for time that it's hard. I'm seeing the struggle to do something in routine like at that time. I find myself in the morning because I don't have someone else to answer to. I'm always making my own schedule. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna relax or drink my coffee or do this thing first before I get into this, where I'm seeing the value of getting back to that, where I choose into, okay, this is the first thing I do in the morning after I'm meeting with my brother, or even before, right? Because I'm realizing like more and more people are getting involved. There's a couple people in my head that I'm like, oh, that I feel like this is gonna show up with me in their world to show me something and give them something in return, right? Some sort of like start or understanding or viewpoint they're not getting now, to create a opening from maybe a blind spot, which that's what I felt like it was before. So I'm seeing that with the push-ups, right? I'm seeing that it's like the last 3 sets, no matter how much time I give, they're the hardest, right? Like I get to a point where I'm like, shit, I don't know if I can do 11. that's a new thing that I'm like, whoa, paying a lot of attention to it. I'm also paying attention to the fact that I feel sore because I'm not taking any days off. I just keep doing it. I feel it, and my mind tells me, oh, I'm not going to be able to do it because I'm so sore. Because I just kind of jump back into this. But yet I know, I'm like, oh, that's a story, right? I'm just sore from doing it. Like, I can do it. And then I can, but every time I go to do it, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to be able to do it because I'm feeling it, making a story about it. Once again, how the lie plays in my life, right? How it interacts with me, tells me, oh, you can't do that because you got to rest or whatever. That's a cool thing. Let me see, gotta check on time. Oh, doing good. It's so funny because normally I talk so much, I always run over. But I'm actually seeing that now that I'm honoring the time. And that's where the whole 11 thing comes in, is it gives me something to focus on that is, I don't take personal, or it doesn't pull me one way or the other. It's just 11, right? Like, it's just, oh, you gotta hit the number. That's the thing. Do the 11 push-ups, do the 11 meditation. That's why I know God used 11 for me, because it would like kind of dumb down my stories and my fucking belief about what this man or what that man was. Just like, oh, 11. It's like fucking the most basic thing as a child. Like, count from 1 to 100. Do your ABCs, right? Like, there's nothing about it that's good or bad or right or wrong or in this club or that club, right? So I'm seeing the value that more as I implement the side effect of 11. And I've done this throughout the last 8 years. I just did it in convenience. Like, I was thinking about it earlier. I always fill up my water jug. And every time I'm filling something up or I'm doing something that takes time, I count to 11. I either count really slow, and like the jug will be filling up. And it's a 1 gallon jug, right? So it's like, I'll count from 1 to 11 normally, and then I'm like, okay, and then I'll be like, count slow, and then it'll start to get close, and I'll be like, starting at 1, and I'll be like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and it'll be full. But I'm making it about 11, and what it does is it takes my mind off of the worry or the impatience or whatever, and it makes it about something just basic. So I'm learning that in a big way, and I want to fill you in on this because it's not like I'm getting these results in 3 days. I've been practicing this in some way or another. I'm just trying to hone it in and really create something that I can go, okay, that one I'll relate to, one I can explain, and another that somebody else can try it on, right? Without having all the backstory and the 8 years of stuff going on, which I find efficient, right? Because to me, the way I changed my life was through like these little different changes. And then suddenly it made sense. It was like, I was speaking with my brother, and he's like, we were having one of our sessions, and he literally was like, it's crazy. Like, my depression's gone, and I'm not angry anymore, or something about that. And he's like, and I don't even know where it went. And it's because what I saw in that, I was like, oh, such key, right? Because that's the thing, is our goal is to not be depressed or not be angry. So we're focusing on not being depressed, not being angry, but the key factors in those are depression and anger, rather than doing something that creates some sort of connection or understanding or compassion or love for ourselves or somebody else through something. And then that energy starts to be in our system, instead of the energy of like being depressed or being angry or not wanting to be depressed, not wanting to be angry. So I don't know how I got on that tangent, but that was the realization, like, through this process and through doing this, is it's like we're trained, we're advertised, we're marketed, we're sold to in a basic way that pushes us for now, pushes us, do this thing and you'll get this thing. But in life, what I've found, like, the truth is you get what you are being, not what you want, right? You be all these things, and then the side effect is stuff just happens, and you don't get control over what happens. And we've been taught this big lie that we do, that we get like control over choosing, like, oh, I do this and I get the girl, and I do this and I get the money, right? And in a way, yeah, in the lie, it comes that way because it's set up that way in society. Because if we didn't get somewhat of a false sense of a goal or a reward at the end, we would never keep going. So it's built into the thing. It's just we don't get the partner we really want. We get the hot chick that annoys us, that we end up divorcing, or we get the money but we're miserable now because we trade off feeling worthless because we don't have money to feeling worthless because we think nobody likes us for who we are and they just want us for our money. Whatever, right? Two hypothetical stories, but a lot of truth in it. Anywho, holy cow, I went fast. See, I knew I could talk fast. So, second, the mental meditation, more and more love it, right? Especially after the push-ups, so welcoming. And I see that because I'm in that state, my mind slows down because I'm ready to just kind of like chill out because I've been managing this thing, doing the push-ups and why can't I do it and blah, blah, blah. And then the emotional part of sharing this and then watching it back later, fucking love it. I hope this worked out great. We're coming up on our time, 46. I'm doing to try and hone this in and make it more efficient, like get it patterned so that if you pick this up and watch it one day or another, you can kind of see what's going on and repeat it. Okay, I'm up. Time's up. Love you.